low. I thought I heard something like mumbling in the background, but... Have to listen hard,
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yes, you do. There are a couple more. Yeah, one more coming. No, that's another one.
Oh, that was
but I will say this.
That one sounded a little bit more...
We're coming to that, but this affirmative, I think, can you hear me, was analyzed at the...
There, now, I started to pick it up that time.
That was nice that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was nice. Well, the spectrographic analysis concluded this cannot possibly be a human voice, but, you know...
Not a human voice.
No, the bars are absolutely of an identical...
This is fascinating, but we have to take a short break.
Sure.
Let's come back and continue our conversation with our guest, William Peter Blatty, in just a moment. Stay with us, please.
Why American business trusts Emery.
When my designs are late, buyers don't give us a second chance. Emery's international service goes door to door, fast.
Emery delivers all our tapes to the networks, because if they're not there, they don't get on air. And guess who pays for it?
Sending hundreds of contracts across the country is a huge responsibility. We share that responsibility with Emery.
Over 1 million customers trust Emery to deliver. Call Emery. We've earned the trust of American business. Every day, when people go out to get more business, they may, in fact, be losing business. That's why AT&T, with the most powerful communication network in the world, created the concept of telemarketing. From a telemarketing center, executives make sales, process orders, and service customers unrestricted by distance. AT&T, expanding your ability to communicate.
Don't talk to me about high-tech. You fellas know I'm used to some pretty sophisticated filter systems.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
Now, I don't care what kind of car you drive. The filters you want to buy are AC filters. An AC oil filter can serve you up to 15,000 miles. An air filter, clean up to 30,000 miles. The choice is yours. But for my money, it's AC Delco, the smart parts.
If you're serious about business, you're already investing a lot of time and money and effort in your career. Now think for a second. Isn't your career your future?
Here we are once again with our guest this morning on Nightwatch, William Peter Blatty, the author of The Exorcist, and we're talking a bit about his new book, which is called Legion, and some of the ideas contained therein. We were listening to some tape recordings that you had made in an empty room, which appear to have voices in the background.
About 9 months ago, I asked the question in one of these experiments, does God exist? And I heard one of the loud ones, but nonsense syllable, the word lacy. I brought that. I'd like you to play that if you would.
Okay. Once more, please. Goes by quick. It does. It sounds like Lacey. Okay.
Right. Now, 2 days later, I managed by transferring from tape recorder to tape recorder to double the speed of Lacey. Now, you're going to hear something that soundmen tell me is unlikely, to say the least. Lacey, when you double the speed of it, becomes hope it, which is a relevant response. Yeah, do you want to listen to that?
Sure. Huh. Does sound like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, one more time.
Hope it.
Sounds like that to me.
So the question was, does God exist? And the answer came back, hope it.
So if we are talking to some kind of a spirit world, they don't seem to know much more about what's going on than we do.
Well, now, what do you think of all that? I mean, do you, as a human being and walking around in the real world, can you really sink your teeth into that and say, this is real, this is true?
I know the voices are there and they shouldn't be there, but over the years I've persistently asked the question, where are you, or what is your state of being, what is your condition? And on a number of occasions, I got intelligible and audible responses. Now, I'll recount some of them. First was limbo, dead. It's like a ship. I don't know what that means. It's like a hospital. Dr. Angels, which is an incredible image, whatever it means. And we're all treated here. And a couple of months ago, I was at it again. And I heard a voice that I think said, I don't belong here. I get an impression that if they're there, they're in some kind of cosmic institute.
How about
for
the
very,
possibility
very nervous.
of manufacturing defects in the tape? Something like that.
Well, whatever manufacturing defect there is, it's highly unlikely that if you ask to hear your name, that the defect would be your name. Or if you ask the question, does God exist, the answer comes back, hope. I don't know how that defect
can you produce this phenomenon on demand whenever you ask a question and set up a tape recorder?
Yes, every single time. Anyone can do it with any tape. This is not a psychic phenomenon. It's not paranormal. I mean, it's impulses on electromagnetic recording tape that you can play 1,000 times, and anyone can hear them, and they're always there. It's puzzling.
Has anybody, have you done this in the presence of witnesses, or?
Oh, sure. Very frequently with my wife. The affirmative "Can You Hear Me" was at Magno Sound with an Academy Award-winning sound man, and one of the engineers, Neil Fallon, at Magno Sound. Oh, I've done it for physicists. But what puzzles me is even Dr. Harris, who did the spectrographic analysis at Columbia, the physicists, I mean, it boggles their minds, but they do not go on and experiment and try to find out what is causing the phenomenon. I find that very
perhaps they don't share your enthusiasm for the subject, I suppose.
No doubt.
Yeah. About the book, you have filed a lawsuit, I understand, against the New York Times for not putting it on the bestseller list, even though it's selling very well in most parts of the country?
Yeah, it's been on the Time magazine for a while, publishes weekly in all the major cities.
What's the thrust of the suit against the Times?
Well, theirs is the most, well, basically it's a classic case of man bites dog, I suppose, is the bottom line. But they are reputedly certainly the most prestigious and reputed to be the most accurate of all the bestseller lists, and it is the only list
that was very nearly perfect throughout. Correspondent David Dow was at California's Edwards Air Force Base for the finale.
600 feet. The first ever night landing by an American space shuttle came into view of an infrared camera as Flight Commander Richard Truly turned toward his final approach.
Challenger Houston looking good on final.
Challenger continued looking good as it descended toward a runway illuminated by 6 powerful searchlights. Conventional cameras picked up its progress seconds before touchdown. Challenger gliding now at 230 miles an hour. Then touchdown itself, a perfect but almost private affair witnessed by a few hundred NASA employees and their guests. The public viewing area was closed for safety reasons. Finally, the Navy version of high praise from Truly's co-pilot, Dan Brandenstein.
Houston, give the commander an OK-3. Houston, Challenger stopped. Roger, copy. Welcome back. Great show.
The usual recovery convoy swarmed around Challenger like fireflies on a summer night, and soon the crew itself stepped down to Earth for the first time in just over 6 days. Guy Bluford, America's first black astronaut, and Bill Thornton, the oldest, flapping his arms like a happy bird, all rating kudos from the boss of the shuttle program.
The fact that we now only have about 18 anomalies that we're tracking, so it's the cleanest mission yet.
It is the first night landing for the shuttle program, though not the last. There'll likely be another one next year. Challenger, meanwhile, will be prepared for its return to Florida later this week, though the next shuttle flight, October 28th, will be flown by Challenger's sister ship, Columbia. David Dow, CBS News, Edwards Air Force Base, California.